Hello, I'm Jason Spencer. Welcome to Results Wiki. Today our special guest is Kac of WebIs Mobile. We're going to be discussing about how to select the right smartphone. Alex, what are the differences between the plethora of smartphones out there today?
Well, I think the biggest difference is going to be the focus on the user for each one of those. The way, at least the way I look at it, I think the BlackBerry comes around a little bit more as a focus for something an IT group would love. The BlackBerry, they like the control of it. They like just to how far deeply they can go into it to set it up and configure it for their particular organization and that sort of thing. Users typically go more for iOS and Android. I think honestly, my personal opinion on that is I think the iPhone has a much stronger platform than Android does at this point. Android, every time I work with Android, both with actual people, I always feel like I'm having to teach them how to use the phone. Whereas with an iPhone, I can just give it to them and they figure it out. It's very intuitive. It's very easy to use. But what the strength Android has is the fact that it's available on so many different carriers. So, for example, if you're on Verizon, because maybe you're in New York City or in many places where Verizon has a much stronger network than AT&T, and let's face it, if you don't have a good network, your phone is pretty useless. Your Android phone is just going to win out. I see people who will sit there and get upset at their iPhone because they can't make a phone call on it because of where they're located. And, it's a great phone, but again, if you can't access the internet and if you can't access voice, there's really very little point in having that device. But where Android, one of the things that Android does have over the iPhone OS right now is the fact that they're getting updates 4 times a year, 3 to 4 times a year. They've made leaps and bounds of progress in the last year. If you're a person who really likes to customize your phone and you're a power user, I think Android really works well for you. But for the vast majority of people, iOS I think has the most strengths in terms of user interface and customer focus. BlackBerry, like I said, is going to be more. Its strengths really tie more towards the customizability from an enterprise perspective. And then you have Windows Phone 7, which right now is kind of middle of the pack in all those different areas. You've got Microsoft's strengths with Exchange and all the different policies and things that you can set up there, but a lot of that's not in place yet. So they've got they have a path to go through that I think is very promising. But we're seeing the birth of the platform, so I don't think we see the promise of that yet. So really, I guess it comes down to what you've got the platforms that are really focused more on the corporate configuration side and policies, and then you have the phones that are more focused on the user. And I think that's kind of where the different strengths are right now.
Results Wiki wants you. Submit your results today. A result can be an accomplishment that you're proud of, a how-to, anything that you believe other people will benefit from.
Feed your mind daily. Subscribe to Results Wiki today.